Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kevlar here, and we're going to go over real quick what is a Foia. I know you've heard it on these Auditors videos. I don't consider myself an auditor, right? I've always just understood law. Every time, if I've ever gotten a ticket or whatever, I've always represented myself, and I've always done very well. In fact, my last ticket I made the officer cry on the stand, and I had her partner threaten my life as I walked out of court in open court. So obviously they didn't like the way I examined her. So what is a FOIA request? You hear it all the time when these auditors say, I'm going to FOIA that video, I'm going to FOIA that surveillance tape, don't erase that footage, I'm going to FOIA it. Now, it doesn't retain or pertain just to video, but video is obviously the easiest thing and the most direct thing you can have to show evidence of a particular crime or event happening. So FOIA stands for Freedom of Information Act. It's an acronym, FOIA. It's on the federal level, which means it's applicable in all 50 states. It is not an Illinois thing, it is not a Chicago thing, it is not a California thing, it is not a New York thing, it is an everywhere thing. It's on the federal level, which means it applies anywhere in the United States of America. So it was an act that was passed through the House of Representatives in 1968, but it got traction. It probably would not be where it's at today if it were not for, in 1972, Richard Nixon, the president, had a scandal called Watergate, in which he sent a couple of gentlemen who were former military into the Democratic headquarters to steal some information. And it just so happened a maid on one of the other floors looked down, seen through the window, the flashlights going through the file cabinets, and she called the police. And so that's how they got caught. He got caught, Nixon got caught, because he bugged his own White House, Oval Office, and the other rooms because he taped everything. And there was obviously somebody who was passing information along to the Washington Post. Anyways, so the Freedom of Information Act, once the office of the presidency was sullied like that, the American public no longer trusted its government. So they demanded that they be able to see certain documents, at the time it was documents because obviously video was not as popular. So what do you do and how do you get it? Freedom of Information Act, you make a request depending on the department it is going through. So if you look on my channel, I have the body camera footage for the seatbelt sagas, in which I got pulled over for a seatbelt but got taken out of the car and my car searched because some
your destination will be on the left.
Unbelievable accusations. You'd have to watch it. The body camera footage and all three videos are on my site. So what I did there was I Googled Chicago Police Department FOIA request. And there's a couple different ways you could go about it. The easiest and fastest, the best way to expedite the process is to send them an email and go through the email account or the email link. And what you do in the email is you're very specific about what you want. I want body camera footage from this date, from this officer with this star number. You don't have to tell them why you want it. It's none of their business. In fact, I suggest you don't ever tell them why you want it. Right? You just tell them specifically this officer, their body camera footage from this time to this time. If you have a ticket number or any other kind of identifying information regarding that stop or that arrest or that detainment, put that in there too. But they'll ask you who you are. You could give them your name, and within a day they'll give you a receipt saying that they got it. Within another day they should be asking you to send them a picture of your ID. Once you do that, generally it takes about a week and you will be given that footage. Now what's funny about, if you watch the seatbelt sagas, in I believe it's the second video, because I got so mad I kept on turning it off, the officer, the female, says, don't worry, you don't need my name and my star number, it's going to be on the bottom of the ticket. And obviously it wasn't. She wrote WU, which was not her last name. The last name was Opedisano. And she said, I don't need the videotape. It's all being recorded. Yet, when I FOIA requested her and her partner's footage, it was not there. It didn't exist. It never came back. So luckily, two blue and whites showed up. They're going to turn on their footage because we're already 20% into the stop by the time they show up. And to cover their selves legally, they're going to want to turn on their body footage. They're always going to do that because these two, they don't know what they've done. But what they did do was violate my Fourth Amendment. We have a right as Americans to feel safe in our persons, property, homes, and personal effects. Now, the two blue and whites showing up on the two narcotics officers' stop, they don't want to be involved legally with anything they did, so they're going to record from the minute they get there. And thank God they did, because that's the body camera footage I got. And I don't think the Chicago Police Department put two and two together, because there's no reason to know that those officers were at that stop. They can't obviously review all the footage of every tape. So I think I got lucky there, because if they think it's something that's going to be used against the department, they'll put as much red tape between you and it as they can, right? Jason Van Dyke, the man who killed Laquan McDonald, the officer, emptied his mag into him, reloaded, and shot him again. No other officer shot, even though there was 20 or more officers on the scene. That footage didn't come out for 5 years, and it didn't come out until he was sentenced. And if he would have been found not guilty when that footage came out, the city would have went up in flames. So they do not make it easy if they think you're going to use it against them. So don't ever put down why you want it. But you still have legal recourse after that. You'd have to go into your clerk's office and file a motion. Motions are to get stuff in front of a judge. Either way, that's what a FOIA request is. I obtained mine, last one, very easily. Other ones, not so easily. So I would say generally, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it within a week. So just Google the agency, if it's a post office, and then write down, there is no specific format, just write down in that email just the general basic what you want. I want the surveillance tapes from the lobby on April 18th from 2 o'clock to 3:10. All surveillance tapes that are in the lobby, in the foyer, in the common places of this particular post office, and they should get back to you, ask you for ID. After that, they'll send you the tapes. So that is what a FOIA request is. FOIA, F-O-I-A, Freedom of Information Act. Captain Kevlar, over and out.